everybody. Again, my name is Jacqueline. I'm an admissions counselor with NC State, and we're just going to dive right into the information that I have for you. NC State is a public four-year institution located in Raleigh, North Carolina. As you all may know, that is the capital of our great state, so a really, really great location for students to be located, especially during that college career. And location is a really big reason of why our students choose NC State, and I'll talk to you about why that is. So I'm going to start off with, zooming it out to the entire state as a whole, and then we'll zoom into the city and then campus itself. I'm going to try to make this as interactive as possible. This is kind of a trial that I'm doing, so we're going to start off. So this, hopefully y'all can, oh, actually no, y'all can see all of them at the same time, but you know what, we're going to rock and roll with this. So I have some polls for y'all just to kind of make this as interactive as possible. I was hoping to only do one per slide, but I think y'all can see all of those questions, but that is fine. So kind of zooming out into state of North Carolina and where Raleigh falls within that. So Raleigh is pretty central to the state of North Carolina, and as y'all know, Raleigh is super nature oriented, or not Raleigh, North Carolina is super nature oriented, which is something that is really beneficial and really cool within our state. If you drive about 2 or 3 hours to the east side of the state, you'll actually hit the beaches of North Carolina, which students really enjoy, really benefit from taking those like weekend trips or just day trips during your breaks, etc., going to the coast and taking a look at the oceans that we have. But if you drive about, 3 or 4 hours to the west side of the state, you'll hit the mountains of North Carolina. So we really do have the best of both worlds, and that's something that our students enjoy, and just kind of having that at their disposal right here, kind of central within our location. But yeah, so great place to be just within the state as a whole. And if we zoom into the city itself, so what you see right here, hopefully behind that poll that you see on the screen, so if y'all want to go ahead and start answering those questions, like y'all go for it, just so that we can kind of use those as talking points. But Raleigh as a whole, what you see here is downtown Raleigh. It's about a couple miles down the road from campus itself, so super accessible for our students to really take a walk in downtown and enjoy the local culture that is available through our local festivals and museums and restaurants that are located all down there. So a super quaint place to be, and just kind of spend an evening or an afternoon. But also on the professional side of things, y'all, is like once y'all graduate from college, it's important to start thinking about jobs or graduate school or wherever your path may take you. Raleigh is a really great place to be prepared for those opportunities, for the reason that we have what's called the Research Triangle Park as part of kind of the Raleigh area. And through this, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses and companies, government agencies, pharmaceutical companies, research agencies, a lot of really cool places that allow you to get involved and really get that professional development experience once you're here on campus. They all open their doors to NC State students to really obtain that professional development experience, so you are job ready after graduation, which is awesome. And zooming into campus a little bit more, and that's where that first question of the poll comes in. So a really important thing to know, and I saw that a couple of y'all have had the chance to answer. I'm going to stall for a little bit and just kind of go around that question if y'all want to go ahead and keep answering that first question. Actually, I'm just going to keep it going. NC State is the largest four-year institution in the entire state of North Carolina. And that's really important to know when y'all are answering that questions, and y'all are actually hitting that nail on the head. We have 36,000 students in total. 24,000 of those students are our undergraduate population. So students pursuing their bachelor's degree here. The rest of those students are a mix of our graduate students as well as our associate's level degree students. We do have a 2-year associate's level program called our Agricultural Institute, where students are able to get their associate's degree or their 2-year degree in an agricultural field, which is super cool. Because we are a large campus, we do have a large number of opportunities. We also have a large physical campus to fit students. So NC State is divided up into 3 different parts of campus. The first part being main campus. And now this is where students do spend the majority of their time, especially as first-year students. And that takes us to question number 2. Are first-year students required to live on campus in the residence halls during their first year? And most of y'all clicked yes, and that is correct. First-year students are required to live on campus during their first year. And all of our residence halls are located right here on main campus. So you'll be spending a lot of your time here living in the residence halls, eating in the dining halls, taking classes in the academic building, buildings, and just really soaking in all of that student life. What you see here on the screen, if you kind of slide the poll over, this right here is Tally Student Union. This is the student central hub, like really the heart of campus. This is where students, it's kind of a catch-all for students in that there are a lot of really great things to do while you're here. So there's 5 different eateries that you can take advantage of, including a place that sells Howling Cow ice cream, which is ice cream that we make and sell right here on campus using milk from our dairy cows, which is a really fun fact that we have here at NC State. We have a lot of events that happen here, a lot of really cool like hangout spaces and study spaces. And this is also where a lot of our student support services are located. So we have a lot of institutional services and resources that'll help with student success and transition, including our Women's Center, our GLBT Center, Multicultural Student Affairs, and they're all located right here on main campus, really accessible to students, especially if they need them or feel like they can benefit from those services. You can see that skyline down there in the back left corner, that's downtown Raleigh, so you can see how close it is to campus, but we're not like in the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city life of Raleigh. We're pretty far removed from that. We're kind of a bubble within Raleigh. Really makes it seem like a college campus, which is really great. So that is a benefit that we have for our students here. And yeah, you will spend a lot of time on main campus while you are here. And the next part of campus is Centennial Campus. If my mouse clicks, Centennial Campus is home to our College of Engineering and our College of Textiles. So a lot of y'all are interested in engineering, as I saw. So this is kind of for you. If once you start diving deep into your major, you will take classes right here on Centennial Campus. It's only about a mile away from main campus. And for my student interested in nuclear engineering, your classes are actually going to stay on main campus because we have a nuclear reactor on main campus that it'd be really hard to just kind of pick up and move across campus. So your classes will stay on main campus. I'm so sorry, but you can definitely make use of the resources that are on Centennial Campus. This is our research campus. So there's a lot of opportunities for you and a lot of big companies that are located right on Centennial Campus that you can actually work with and kind of gain this professional development experience. The National Weather Service is located here. Smithfield Foods, Hanes, the clothing company, is located here, among a lot of other big companies, but also small startups and entrepreneurship endeavors from our students and our alumni are all located here, which is actually really cool and a really cool resource to have. A lot of really cool things that are here as well. So this is a golf course on the back left corner of that screen right here, open to the public. That is our Lonnie Pool Golf Course, and it's an Arnold Palmer certified course. On the other side, that's Lake Raleigh. You can go kayaking, canoeing, fishing, or you can make use of our trails and go biking, walking, running, etc. So right here in the middle is our Hunt Library, which is our state-of-the-art library, super technologically oriented. And what's really cool is where our books are located, which is right here in our BookBot vault. So these are shelves, and this is where our books are located, and you can see those, or one of those shelves coming right up using that BookBot. So our BookBot grabs the shelf where your book is located and brings it up to the circulation desk so that you can check that book out and go on your studying endeavors, which makes that a really cool and just kind of easy process. There's actually 4 of these BookBots right side by side because we have so many books. We have 1.8 million, capacity for 2 million, so you can see all of the knowledge that you can make use of while you're here. This is my favorite part of this library, and it's super cool and just a really fun thing to experience. For my students interested in that veterinary field, this is where I'm going to talk excessively about our College of Veterinary Medicine because it's currently ranked as number 4 in the entire United States. But before I go into detail about that specifically, I want to talk about kind of what's around our Centennial Biomedical Campus, which is the last part of campus that I'll touch on. So while you won't be taking classes here just yet, because our College of Veterinary Medicine is primarily for our doctoral students. So if you want to be a veterinarian, definitely aiming to get that graduate school application in so that you can pursue your graduate level degree here. But you'll be spending a lot of time, even kind of regardless of what academic major you're choosing, just because of what's around. So this is right by our Carter Finley Stadium, which is where our men's football team plays. And on the concept of sports, we are a Division I school. So all of those kind of sports that you see on TV and kind of attend games, it's a really hype place here to be. So our men's football team plays in our Carter Finley Stadium, which is located right next to this part of campus. And also, y'all, fun fact, Beyonce has performed in our Carter Finley Stadium, which, you know, famous people are just casually at NC State, no big deal. But it's also right by our PNC Arena, which is where our men's basketball team plays. And it's also something that's shared by the Carolina Hurricanes. So you kind of have this like cool immersive experience while you're here. And it's also located right next to the state fairgrounds, which is awesome. But going back to the College of Veterinary Medicine, it is ranked number 4 in the United States at this time. But even though you won't be taking classes here just yet, there's plenty of opportunities for you to get that experience within the field that will help solidify your interest and will help your application stand out when you do ultimately apply. So whether that's volunteering here in our working animal hospital or pursuing an internship in our this is our working animal farm, not our hospital. This is our hospital. So you can pursue an internship there as an undergraduate student. You can even do research here, regardless of whether or not you're interested in that veterinary medicine field. In fact, we have an intern within our Office of Undergraduate Admissions whose major is nutrition, and he's doing research in our College of Veterinary Medicine because his ultimate goal is to go to medical school. So if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in going to medical school or pursuing a pre-vet track, pre-med track, pre-law, etc., we have what are called pre-professional advising programs. And through these programs, you'll be matched up with an academic advisor who's an expert in that field, who's guiding that way and guiding that process through taking the classes that you'll need to you and helping you with that application process as a whole. So if your academic endeavors or even your professional endeavors do continue after graduating from NC State, we definitely want to continue to be there for you. And so we have a saying here at NC State: we want students to think and do the extraordinary, because we know that that's what our students are capable of and so much more. So one way to do this is through undergraduate research. There's a lot to get involved in doing research in your field of expertise as early as your first year. You can do this with your professors. You can do this on your own through your own sort of interests and endeavors, or through your academic field. Through your major, you will be doing some sort of research, no matter which major you're pursuing. So there's definitely opportunities for you to pursue that in any way that you choose. I do want to touch on our study abroad programs. That was a poll question, so I will actually take a look at what y'all kind of thought, how many study abroad programs we have. So we actually have 230 study abroad programs here at NC State, which is something that we're super excited about, and having these sort of partnerships around the world. Studying abroad is a super great experience that you can pursue if you're interested in taking your experiences and endeavors outside of campus, outside of the United States as a whole. We do have these 230 programs for you to choose from to enhance your academic experience, or just kind of do a service project in another part of the world. We have partnerships with over 80 different countries, and you can choose these programs based on your personal interests or your academic interests. So a lot of different things that you can do there. This picture right here, these are students that are studying at our NC State European Center, which is an extension of campus that we have in Prague, Czech Republic. So this is the only study abroad program that's open to our first year students, and honestly a really cool experience to have, to really be studying at an NC State campus in another part of the world. But the possibilities are endless for different options that you have to be pursuing through these study abroad experiences. And what I am really passionate about are student organizations, because I truly believe that this is really fundamental in kind of finding and establishing your home and your community here on campus, or at least a starting point. We have over 700 student organizations for you to choose from while you are here, ranging from academic organizations to service organizations, cultural organizations, fraternity and sorority life, sports, the arts, etc. So being that we are a large campus, it can get a little daunting, but being involved on campus really does make campus seem a lot smaller and make it seem more like home. And if you're wondering about how to find these opportunities and find these organizations, NC State has what's called Wolfpack Welcome Week. This is a week of that's full of events and full of programming for students to really get acclimated to the environment and just the experiences that are available here at NC State. So you can meet these different student organizations, you can attend concerts that are here. This is really a street festival that we have for our students. There are concerts and performances and free t-shirts and free food and just a lot of really great things, and a really cool way for us to welcome students to campus once their classes start and start to build that sense of community while you are here. And I want to transition to the academic side of NC State. We do have over 100 different majors here at our institution. We are STEM based, so science, technology, engineering, and math is what we're mainly known for, but we have a lot of different programs that aren't necessarily within that STEM field. This is actually a snapshot of our top majors that are currently enrolled first-year students are pursuing. So you can see that engineering is a big one. We have 18 majors within our College of Engineering. So for my students who are interested in engineering, this is definitely a really great option for you to consider. So we have, or I guess an important part of our application process is that you are required to apply directly into your academic major. You'll be asked to provide your first choice and your second choice major on your application, and we will admit you directly into one of those two programs. So that way you'll start right away within the major of your choosing. But if you're not really sure about what that might look like just yet, we have what's called exploratory studies. And this is a really, really structured, undecided program for students in which you take your first year and just take kind of elective courses, but also just courses that'll allow you to see the different sides of our academics here at NC State. So at the end of your first year, you'll choose your specific major and then you'll start on that. So something to consider if you do feel like you can benefit from that additional time, but we do have over 100 different majors for you to choose from. And I definitely encourage you all to take a look at everything that we do have to offer. And now I want to talk to y'all about how you can go about submitting your application. So these are the different steps that you'll take and you'll make in order to have that ready to submit to us. So the first step is to submit your application itself. We are on the Common App and the Coalition application. We just ask that you submit one of those two. Definitely choose your favorite and submit that by the application deadline. We do require an $85 application fee, or we do accept fee waivers all year round. So y'all have some phenomenal college advisors that can assist you if you qualify for a fee waiver. So definitely talk to them if this is something that you feel like you can benefit from for your application. Your official high school transcript is also a required part, and this is just so that we can see the grades that you're making and the classes that you're taking. Finally, your test scores, your ACT or SAT, are optional this year. So you will not be disadvantaged if you decide not to submit those test scores as part of your application. But if you do decide to have your test scores submitted to us to be reviewed, we will accept them self-reported right on your application. And this is for my current seniors out there. So just know that test scores are optional, and that is it, y'all. That is all that you need to submit your application. It is that easy. Letters of recommendation are something that are not required as part of your application. We are happy to read them if you want to go ahead and submit one or two as part of your application, but they're not required by any means. And now I wanted, deadlines. So we have two deadlines as for this cycle. So early action and regular decision, both non-binding deadlines that we have for our students. Early action is if you apply by November 1st, you'll be notified of your admissions decision on January 30th. And this is the final deadline for our studio-based majors. Our next deadline is regular decision. If you apply by January 15th, you will be notified of your admissions decision on March 30th. And once you receive that acceptance letter, you have until May 1st to confirm your enrollment. This is a date that you'll know and love very well, otherwise known as Decision Day. So you'll have until that day to confirm your enrollment at NC State. And now I want to talk a little bit about how we review your application. We do have a very holistic application review, but first and foremost is your academic achievement. So we just want to see how you're doing when you're in high school. Our strongest applicants are making A's and B's in their classes, with mostly A's, and taking advantage of any rigorous courses that your high school has to offer to you. And the combination of these two things are what we look at more so than the number GPA that's on your transcript. We do take into consideration your test scores if you decide to provide those to us. Again, we are test optional for this upcoming school year, but if you do decide to submit those test scores, we do take the highest sub-score, the highest composite score of the exams that you submit to us. We do super score those for you. But again, you will not be disadvantaged if in any way if you decide not to submit your test scores. Your interest in the program that you're applying for. So as I mentioned, you are applying directly into your academic major. We just want to see that you're interested in this program, and we can see this through the classes that you're taking, the involvements that you are pursuing, or you can just tell us in your own words through a short answer question that we have that asks you why you're interested in your major. Your accomplishments and involvements outside of the classroom. This is where you can brag about every extracurricular thing that you are doing when you are not in the classroom. This includes clubs that you're in, and a job that you have, sports that you play, volunteer opportunities that you're pursuing, household responsibilities that you tend to. We do understand that that'll look very different during this time, but whatever you're doing when you're not kind of in class or in school, definitely let us know about it. If it's important to you, it is important to us. Your application will be reviewed with your background and opportunities in mind. And so what this means is that we do understand that not all high schools are the same and that they don't all have the same classes, the same resources, etc. for all students. And so your application will be reviewed within the context of what your high school has to offer to you. And finally, your individual story is very important. And what this means is that we do require some essays as part of our application. And this is just so that we can get to know you beyond the numbers on your application. So I did mention early action. So this is the application deadline that we encourage students to apply by. And the reason for this is that you will receive priority consideration for university scholarships if you apply early action. So let me go ahead and talk about these. So the PAC Assist, this is an application that you will fill out once you are admitted to NC State. And we'll take your information. This is where our merit-based scholarships, major-based scholarships, activity-based scholarships, etc. are housed. So this is where all of our institutional scholarships are within NC State. And again, this is something that you will fill out once you are admitted. The next two are fully funded scholarships for your tuition and fees. The Goodnight Scholarship is for North Carolina residents majoring in a STEM field or STEM education field, and priority is provided to students coming from middle to low income households. And finally, the Park Scholarship is for all students in the United States of all majors. You will be nominated by your high school to be the Park nominee, and students are reviewed based on scholarship, leadership, service, and character. All right, y'all, that is all the information that I have for you as part of this presentation. We encourage you to connect with us. We are on all of these social media channels, and I will say that these are all student run. Well, the Snapchat and the Instagram and the Twitter are all student run. So that way you can get that student experience and that student perspective of what NC State is and what we have to offer. So that's something really cool that I encourage you to connect with us by. And we also have our virtual tour right here in case you're interested in just seeing what campus looks like and what we have to offer. And this is some specific information for some of our college departments and academic colleges that we have here in case you're interested in connecting with them specifically and just kind of getting more information based on the major that you're interested in.